Welcome back, viewers at home. You're certainly tuned in right here on Prime Live. And tonight we are joined by Leasha Williams, the franchise manager at Harvey World Travel. And tonight she is joining us to give us more insight on how we can protect ourselves from common travel scams, recognize some red flags, and travel with peace of mind. Because we've all been there where they are showcasing either a place or a venue and it's looking quite interesting and the price is quite discounted, and only to find out after you have submitted the payment that it was a scam. Let's protect ourselves by having Leasha Williams give us more insight on how to recognize and avert such things from happening. Leasha, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, viewers, for having me.
Now, one thing I'm going to ask, because we've seen the scams, but I want to find out from you as someone who is, always proactively there looking out for some of these common reoccurring scams. Can you tell us a bit what are some of those common scams that a lot of travelers fall prey to?
Okay, firstly, if I can say fake accommodation. Fake accommodation scammers does this wonderful packages that is just like an eye-catching on all these unverified websites and social media platforms asking for immediate payment. And then you know what? Once the payment is there, they're gone. Not so long ago, I think it was 2 days ago actually, there's on a very familiar travel agent platform where a lady's actually asked some, everybody if they've seen this particular lady, because she's actually scammed her parents out of a large sum of money for a Zanzibar package. It's actually sad that, especially those little hard-earned monies that you have, and it's gone in a flash.
Yeah, it's
Sad.
really sad. And with that being said, are there any specific regions, cities, or countries that are quite, known for their high scams that travelers tend to fall prey to?
Well, there's all countries, right? There's scams all over, and there's not most countries there's not a high or low. They all vary. But if I can just bring us back to our own in South Africa, in our rough and busy Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town, there we actually find out that all these tailor-made tour operators, they are all just very out there, just scamming. So it's mainly your unlicensed tour operators that are coming up now in your hustle and bustles of your cities now.
And seeing that there are different types of travelers, solo travelers, first time travelers, so many of them. Can you tell us a bit on who may be more susceptible to scams?
There's a few, if I can mention, first-time travelers. And the reason I say first-time travelers, they won't pick up that red flag, And then you have your solo travelers, especially women. They are sometimes targeted because of their vulnerability, sorry, and or isolation. And then you have your elderly ones. You mean people just run up to them, I want to help, I want to help. And elderly people, oh, thank you very much. And that's where the scammers hit. And youth as well, especially your young ones, those ones that just finished your grade 12. Oh, I want to take a year break. And they often with those lastminute.com bookings, oh, they see the nightlife and stuff like that. And they are prone to those tailor-made too good to be true packages.
And how can we then become more proactive in protecting ourselves from these scams that already exist? Because one thing and I stand to be corrected is that some of these scammers are so like ahead of what is out there in terms of the way they create some of these fake websites and the images and so much more that they use. You can tell that what they know what they're doing. And as
Exactly.
customers or potential travelers, how do we protect ourselves?
Book through a reputable travel agency. Look, search. I mean, I can mention there's Harvey World. Make sure that you're booking through a reputable travel agency. Avoid your cash only deals. Make sure that they have secured links. Research research your destinations thoroughly. Keep copies of your documents. Give it to a family member. Make sure that you have your documentation stored somewhere. Trust your instincts. When something feels off, just walk away. Don't, just walk away.
Now, Leasha, I want to ask a very more personal question, and I think this is regards to some of the B&Bs or the ones that you book homes for the holiday,
Mm,
and at times, of course, because of the occurrence of these scams, you tend to be on high alert. You can't even distinguish if this is an instinct or it's just a fear that exists because of the past experiences you've seen on social media, where they'll ask you information, filling out forms, and getting the key when you get there. Is there a way of really sussing out to say, okay, this is legit or this is not legit?
Um, so actually, it's basically it just boils down to make sure that that B&B, look at the reviews, check what reviews there are of that Airbnb. There's a lot. Speak to people. Ask around. Even if you have to do like a side trip and go see. Yes, it sounds great. You get this key on it, or you get a deposit when you leave or whatever. But even if you have to make just a quick trip or somebody in that area, make sure that you get that proper information before you actually go through.
And Lisha, are you able to share with us or recommend some websites that you believe are quite, trustworthy, or any other thing that you believe that viewers at home who are planning to travel, be it in the springtime or summertime, being December season, is there something that you can share with our viewers to sort of, bear in mind when they're making their next booking or planning to travel?
Okay, there's a few. Asata, which is one of our very well known websites for travel agencies, Association of Travel Agents in Southern Africa, which is www.asata.co.za, and that is just for you just to make sure that that company is listed. There's Hello Peter, TripAdvisor, Google Maps, just to name a few.
Interesting. And as we close off our conversation, I want to just ask your opinion to say what is the single most important piece of advice you can give travelers to help them, avoid being scammed?
Research, research, research. I'm not going to say that enough. Speak to people, because I tend to find out people keep their trips, or, a secret for some whatever reason. When you speak to somebody, you never know if that person might just pick up something that's not right and give you advice. And also, if I may say, our Harvey World members, they on top, they make sure their priority is to secure the clients, to protect them from all these scams, just to have peace of mind with their journeys. And when you are involved with a trusted travel partner, you get expert advice, you get a secured booking, and you get all that support all the way. And that is what scammers can't give you.
Thank you so much, Leisha, for joining us and really giving us insight on how we can protect ourselves and really protect our finances, because, there are people who
Exactly.
use their life savings to plan a trip, and you can only imagine how devastating it can be when you find out that you spent all that money and really never even get to
Exactly.
experience that holiday in question. But thank you so much for joining us.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate this time.
Viewers at home, that was Leasha Williams, the franchise manager at Harvey World Travel. Now, viewers at home, hope you took, all the tips and noted down all the notes that Leasha was sharing in terms of how we can protect ourselves when it comes to making sure that you are making a booking with a really registered agency at that, rather than just trying your luck. And sometimes do trust your gut. And if it's too good to be true, probably most of the times it is too good to be true. But for now, let's head over to an ad break. We'll see you just after this.